The business card remains an indispensable tool in today's age of doing business. Cards are crucial for, well, business, but they're useful for countless other forms of networking as well. They come in very handy at conferences, when we meet face to face with clients, or when we happen to run into someone that we might want to do business with. Having a business card is a great way to promote yourself in the physical world. Business cards have kind of an interesting history. They basically first started appearing under the name of a calling card or visiting card in the 17th century over in England. Soon thereafter, the business cards began to catch on as well, and the business cards acted primarily as advertising, while the calling cards or visiting cards served as letters of introduction among the middle and upper classes. It's kind of interesting because etiquette dictated that one type of card could not be substituted for the other. These rules of etiquette that came into being during this period of time began to make an idea of a card that stressed a business function, and it was unacceptable to use it as a calling card. In fact, when a person left a business-related card during a social visit to a home, it was seen as an attempt to collect a bill or a debt. Over time, though, the cards started being used interchangeably for both social and business purposes, and gradually the visiting card kind of vanished from the scene, while the business card has gone to become a mainstay in business. With new materials introduced like plastic, magnetic backed cards, and a wide spread of color use, business cards and the card industry has moved into the modern era in a very exciting way. The first step in designing a business card is to determine the format. At some point, the 3.5 by 2 inches became a conventional norm. There are definitely pros and cons when deciding when to deviate from the standard form and when to actually use it. Standard business cards are 2 by 3.5, and they're seen either vertically or horizontally in orientation. Horizontal is a more traditional form, but plenty of people and companies now opt for the vertical layouts. There's a couple of benefits in using the standard sizing, and it's primarily being that it's generally less expensive because it's a common size. The other big benefit is that it's immediately recognizable as a business card, and it'll fit into standard business card holders. But just because business cards are traditionally a 2 by 3.5 rectangle doesn't mean you can't deviate from that size and shape. With modern printing and cutting techniques, virtually any size and shape can be used for your business card. Die-cut cards are particularly popular. Some opt for traditional rectangle but with rounded corners or some kind of cutout shape within the card itself. Others opt for an entirely custom shape that often reflects their logo or the company theme or mascot. Just remember that anything too complex is likely to get bent or otherwise mishappen, which may defeat the purpose of the business card. Oversized and undersized cards are certainly growing in popularity recently. Oversized cards are often die-cut in custom shapes. Die-cut cards, though, over or undersized cards make your business card stand out from those of your competitors. Folded cards are also another option. You can choose to have the fold along the long or the short side of the card. The best option generally is going to depend on the purpose of the folding parts and the orientation of the card itself. With a vertically orientated card, you may want to fold along the short side, and with a horizontal card, you may want to fold along the long side, but it really depends on the overall design of the card. Typically, when you present a card, it will contain a person's name, the company address, phone number, email, and web address. And in some cases, it'll contain information like departments, other means of communication, office hours, appointment fill-in areas, maps, directions, and just about anything else that deems itself important enough to gain placement on a card. When you're actually designing a business card, you're going to have several considerations that you're going to want to think about. First of all, you'll want to consider typography. Typography is the art of choosing letter forms and arranging them on a page. Using type thoughtfully is crucial to the success of your card, which is going to become a typographic portrait of you. Working with just a single font, you can create endless variations by playing with the size, the placement, the alignment, Think flush left, flush right, centered, justified. There's all kinds of different things you can do typographically, so get creative. Color is another consideration. Color can certainly help your design to stand out and come to life, but at the same time, too many colors can turn into kind of a visual overload. So choose colors that represent you and your message. In the past, when you added color, budget was always a consideration, and in some cases it still is, but in today's day and age, there's plenty of commercial printing that is very cost effective. So if you look around, you should be able to have options that the colored version of the card is not going to be too much more than a monochromatic version of the card. Materials. Most cards are made of cardstock. Go figure that. Cardstock is usually more durable than text weight paper. Cardstock withstands bending, tearing, crumpling, and it holds up to the abuses of wallets or backpacks. That being said, there are endless alternatives to a standard cardstock. Think about color, pattern, texture, weight. A beautiful or surprising material can become part of the content and imagery of your project. It certainly makes a card stand out when it's printed on something that's outside of the norm. Methods. When deciding whether to print, stamp, stencil, or even write your content, remember that you're going to need more than just one card. So use a method that is easily able to replicate and produce, and use resources that will be convenient as well as visually effective. I've gone ahead and created a business checklist for you. The business card basically is needed to promote a business and facilitate making contacts. It's important that your card should convey a clear message about your business, and it should have a positive effect at the onlooker. It should also be designed in a way that would leave a mark in your prospect's minds about you. There are many design layouts and formats in which an ideal business card can be designed. An ideal marketing card should have the following 4 properties: prominence, legibility, quality, and contain elements of a business card. Let's go ahead and let's look at these a little bit more in depth. Prominence is going to help to separate your company from the millions of other companies in the world. You can think that all the millions of companies in the world have millions and billions of business cards. The point is that your card should stand out from the crowd. Similarly, at a business meeting where everyone's handing out their personal cards, the client is usually left with a stack of business cards at the end of the day. So it's really important to make your card catchy and ideal. Also, a card that stands out from the rest makes the business competition healthy. Legibility. Legibility means that your business card should be easy to read. Basically, a business card is small by nature, so printing large fonts is virtually impossible. That means that the type of font that you use should be easy to read in a small size. Your business card, it should be neat and unique, as well as have every alphabetical letter on it needs to be clear and easy to read. Also, remember that too many details will complicate the understanding of your message, so try something that's simple yet effective. Quality matters the most when it comes to business promotion. The material of your card should be of high quality. It may happen that your potential customers are going to doubt your ability to provide them with high quality goods if they see your contact information printed on cheap, low quality material. The sensation of the card should be unique too. Make it a tactile experience. When touching the card, prospects will associate any unusual concrete feel with you. For instance, you may want to use a velvet or gentler information on a rough surface, or even sharp ends for a business association. And finally, the elements of a business card. The elements of a business card are the items that you're going to include on the business card. The following are important and unavoidable elements on a business card. You should definitely put your name on a business card. Your name is very important to be included on the business card. It lends a touch of personalization to your card. In all large and small organizations, it's important for the recipient of the card to have the name of the specific contact person. The name of an individual is usually the most outstanding text element on a business card. The business name. An ideal business card should always have your business name or the organization name on it. This is yet another prominent text element on the business card. It should stand out. An organization with a highly recognizable logo might de-emphasize the name, but it should be treated as an essential piece of information. The job title is not a very important element of the business card, but it looks professional to mention your position in the company. For instance, some entrepreneurs or sole proprietors might want to include president or CEO to give the appearance of a larger organization. A physical address or a mailing address are both typical parts of a business card. However, in the case of a company's business that is exclusively online, a physical address might not be as important to include. However, it does add credibility to your company if you can include a physical address. The phone number or contact number is also extremely important. Usually, multiple numbers are listed in order of voice, fax, and cell. However, you can omit any numbers that are not the preferred method of contact. Don't forget to include the area and/or country codes and extension if it's required for your business. In today's day and age, we definitely need email addresses. Like all other addresses, including an email address is an important element for a business card. Nowadays, companies basically don't function without email, so make sure that you have an email address that is legible and is displayed in a place that makes sense on your card. You'll also want to include the website address. Almost every company has a website, so the website address definitely needs to be listed. Do keep in mind when you display the website address, you don't need the http://. Just start at the www. Business cards should also have your logo. After all the written elements, a logo is perhaps the most important visual element of a business card. It's important for instant recognition of the company. And if it's used consistently on business cards and other print and electronic materials, it helps to establish the company's identity and brands the company more effectively. Color. Colors are a great way to express certain feelings or identity, so it's in your best interest to study different messages that each color sends. Think about color psychology, and incorporate the most suitable one on your business card. This is going to be instrumental in creating beautiful business cards with a proper message that is properly supported. You can also experiment with colors and always check with others before setting on a design. A set of fresh eyes can always cast an objective light on your business card design. However, most companies will use their corporate color on their business card to keep consistency and to keep all communication material of that organization easily recognizable. Finally, the business card material. Apart from the common business cards that are made of paper or card material, there are also very specialized business cards that are made from other interesting materials. These materials may include plastic, especially the frosted translucent plastic, crystal clear plastic, white or metallic plastic, and there's other materials that business cards are sometimes printed on: metal, rubberized cards, rubber, magnets, poker chips, thin wood, and even real wood. For the most part, these special material business cards are of a standard format, preferably with rounded or squared corners, and the new materials are very popular among companies that wish a unique and eye-catching look is going to leave a long-lasting impact on the receiver of your business card. Anytime someone receives a business card that stands out from the norm, they are more likely to hold on to it and to keep it. Depending on the industry, though, it may be important to ensure that the business card is of a standard size so that the person can easily file it and then have access to it later on. Hopefully, these considerations have helped you to gain some understanding of what you should and shouldn't include on a business card and given you some items to think about when you're designing your business card. Remember that the business card is one of the most important components of an identity package because the business card is something that you can easily carry with you all the time. It's a standard means of introducing yourself and leaving your information so someone can be in touch with you. And it certainly is extremely helpful to have a business card that's going to stand out. Another quick tip is when you give someone a business card, try giving them two, one for them and one for them to pass on.